think we are living a very critical moment actually now in terms of the discussion of women and in a transitional period of our economies.
I don't think I've seen any time in my decades-long involvement in public affairs where the focus on women's issues was greater.
The key, I think, is getting people to understand the opportunity. Not all the myriad of issues and problems, but the opportunity to the economic empowerment of women.
If there were ever any other group that was this large and this untapped, everybody would be focusing on this.
In the last 20 years or so, women and girls have reached much higher education levels than they had before. Yet, there's been very little progress in terms of access to the economy and to economic empowerment for women.
The Economist has done the world a great favor by creating the Economic Opportunity Index, and it's putting a spotlight on the distorted relations between males and females and their participation in the economy.
It takes more than just, pure data. It takes work on the ground to really make the case. But one cannot exist without another. So we need data to make our case.
I think the Women's Economic Opportunity Index is actually one of the most comprehensive tools out there because it really looks at, across 26 different indicators, 5 different critical areas, how a country is doing in terms of their economic growth and ultimately their competitiveness in a global marketplace. And it presents to countries a very clear message that they will not be competitive in this next decade if they don't invest in women.
Governments don't like to be at the bottom of the heap, and that can be a motivator. And sometimes they find themselves at the bottom of the heap when they thought they'd be at the top of the heap.
What The Economist has done is they've squarely put this issue on the table. They've said, women, economic opportunity, what do we know? And they've left enough space for what don't we know.
A year ago, we brought together the business community, the NGO sector, government, international institutions to develop and build the La Pietra Coalition to advance women in the world.
The beauty of this coalition and the advantage of this coalition is bringing different stakeholders.
It's so easy for each of us in our own silos to forget about the other folks that are out there that are working at the issue and coming at it from different angles.
We're all committed, we all have the same goal, but we all each have a different toolkit at our disposal, and let's use it.
That's what I love about this coalition and what Vital Voices has done to convene a small but very powerful group of people who will say, yeah, I'm a shareholder in a different kind of society.
To leave untapped talent in a world that's this globalized and this competitive is just really a poor economic decision. And I think people are coming around to see that.
They've determined sort of a path of where they want to get, but they've also said, look, we need a lot of people driving different cars. And what is your piece of that? What is your contribution to that?
We know that women's empowerment in general is moving, women's economic empowerment is moving, but we need it to go much, much faster.
This is a moment that we can't afford to let go. It's just this confluence of amazing data, research, along with the stories that we know are out there. I think it's a very powerful combination.
This is about societies winning, men and women. This is about win-win for all, everywhere in the world and everywhere in your local community.
We believe this will be the decisive decade. We have more partners, more believers, and more data than ever before. Now is the time.